Welcome to Rebocap 101. If you already own the trackers, skip to this timestamp for the tutorial. Have you been looking at motion capture solutions, but you cannot afford those expensive suits, or have a big room to install a bunch of laser cameras? You looked at various tracker options already, but they just don't sell enough trackers to allow you to control VTubers. Well, Rebocap might be the perfect solution for you. What is Rebocap? Rebocap is a motion capture tracker set that uses IMU technology. IMU means Inertial Measurement Unit. Rebocap does not use cameras to track position. That's why you don't need a big room or install expensive cameras to use them. It's basically plug and play. The full set of 15 trackers is around $200 and the small set is around $100. Yes, you heard that right. That's about $13 per tracker. That's cheaper than building your own slime. The battery life is about 30 hours or 5 days. They weigh about 20 grams and wirelessly transfer data through this USB dongle using 2.4 GHz signal. Rebocap supports programs like SteamVR, Warudo, VRChat, Blender, Unreal Engine, Unity, and many more. The best part is the extensive documentation that includes a lot of helpful information. Okay, advertising done, let's get to the hardware part. Your Rebocap set has finally arrived. Here is what you need to do first. Assemble the trackers. To assemble them, we need to know which tracker corresponds to which body part, so we can put on the correct stickers for the correct body part. We can check which tracker corresponds to what limb by reading the label on the back of the tracker. Strap assembly time. The brackets must be flat on the sticky side of the strap. To assemble the trackers, you need to pull the strap through this gap in the bracket and then pull it through again. The final result should look like this. Then you can slot in the tracker by pushing it into the bracket like this. Now we just have to repeat this step for all 15 of them. It will take about 30 minutes to assemble your first trackers, but don't worry, you won't have to do it again. It's important to pay attention to the strap length. Here is an in-depth chart on which strap length should be used for which tracker. For waist and chest, the strap length is 100 centimeters. For the upper leg, it's 60 centimeters. Most of the straps are 40 centimeters. Please pause the video here as you assemble. Okay, all the trackers are marked with cute stickers and are in the correct straps. Let's put them on. How high or low you put the tracker doesn't actually matter very much, since the trackers mainly track rotation data. For the lower leg, I recommend putting it behind, since if you dance a lot, you can do a lot of fancy moves like get on the floor without the trackers bothering you. The waist tracker should be pretty low, since if you put it on your waistline or belly button, there will not be a lot of movement in that area, so you won't get good tracking. And for the chest, it's nicer when it's a little bit higher, around here. I usually wear baggy clothes when I'm wearing my trackers, since I wear them on my skin under my clothes, if I'm planning to use them for a long session like VR. If you wear them on your skin, they stay on a lot better because of the sticky rubber band straps. Okay, now we got the trackers on. Make sure to click the button on each one of them to power them on and reset their position. You can also use this button while in VR to reset the drift for each tracker. Software time. Let's download and install it. You can download the software from Rebocap's documentation page. The link is in the description. Now that we installed the software, I highly recommend turning on all the trackers and updating the receiver firmware and the tracker firmware. The update button can be found in the configurations tab right here. If the skeleton body parts are glowing green, that means your trackers are on. Let's click the calibrate button and follow the instructions on the screen. Once finished, you should see the 3D character on the screen replicating your movements. If the character limbs move in a really weird way, check if you're wearing your trackers correctly, and if it's still weird, calibrate the gyroscope and magnet. Skip to this part of the video to see how to do that. Now let's learn how to connect Rebocaps to Warudo, and later on let's connect them to VRChat and Blender. To connect your trackers to Warudo, you need to be in PC mode. Make sure to enable anti-magnetic mode, as this will reduce drifting, and disable the 6-axis mode for better accuracy. Make sure to enable VMC output in Rebocap software. Open Warudo, go to Motion Capture Setup, and select VMC Body Tracking. Make sure to have VMC Receiver here in your project and the blueprints set up correctly. If you've set up everything correctly, you should be able to see your VTuber moving on the screen. Congratulations! You can combine this with something like UDCAP gloves to have finger tracking and an iPhone for the face tracking. This setup gives you full body VTuber capture. Okay, now VRChat time. We need to switch Rebocap to VR mode. Let's open Steam VR or just VRChat. You will know if Rebocap is successfully connected to Steam VR if you see this circle as green instead of gray. If it's not connecting, check your Steam VR plugins. Make sure Rebocap plugin is enabled. Sometimes if Steam VR crashes, it will disable all plugins, so really make sure the Rebocap plugin is enabled. Restart Steam VR and Rebocap to get it to connect. Make sure to enable the nodes you want to show up in VR. You can do it here in the Set Steam VR nodes. I just recommend enabling all of these since it gives you the nicest quality of tracking. In VRChat, I wear 12 trackers. That's 12-point mode. I like to get more accurate elbow tracking by using both upper and lower arm nodes, since the more nodes or trackers you have, the more they can use each other as a reference point, so there is less overall drift. Now we just have to calibrate in Rebocap and then calibrate in VRChat. Oh wait, how do you click calibrate while in VR? You can't see your computer screen at all. Well, I recommend getting yourself XO overlays, so you can use your computer easily while in VR, just like this. You will see butterflies show up in your Steam VR to indicate that the trackers are enabled. When calibrating, I like to bend my knees slightly, so when I stand and walk, my legs are a lot straighter. And also, I like to lean back slightly so that I can see the hip and chest trackers slightly in front of my avatar. This helps to get nice head versus chest position when you look down. Okay, looks like it all works. Time to enjoy full body tracking in VRChat. If you're having some issues using Rebocap, here is what you need to know about using them in VRChat. You might have missed some small things that can prevent the trackers from functioning properly. So let's check all the micro steps and make sure our trackers have the best possible conditions. Let's do a rescan of your room and play space. You can do this by going to your Quest interface and setting up your boundary. This will recalibrate your floor height. If the floor height is inaccurate, Rebocap will not be able to read your headset and user height correctly. Another thing I recommend is to recenter your view before calibration, since Rebocap uses your headset yaw position to determine rotations. If you recenter after the calibration, your body will start looking the wrong direction. So keep that in mind for best practice. Now take note of the headset y-axis in Rebocap, and using this number in the skeleton settings, we need to match the height ratio to the headset y-axis. Also, disable VR automatic height mode since it's unreliable. Having correct skeleton and headset height will prevent drifting over time and improve accuracy. If your height settings are not matched, you will have a lot of deviation. Alternatively, you can mess with the limb parameters, though I would not recommend that too much since the defaults are usually pretty good. The developers recommend to upload a VRM or PMX of your avatar skeleton for best accuracy. Try out whichever one works best. I personally don't use VRM version of my avatar, so I just slightly adjusted the default skeleton length settings to feel more accurate. Okay, height settings in Rebocap are good to go. Now, settings in VRChat. We need to go to our menu, here, and adjust it. I recommend using height instead of arm length to get better tracking on arm and chest. One reliable way to know if the height is correct is to check if the foot tracker is where the foot is while you're calibrating. Here is the visual indication setting that I like to use for my calibration. I use the calibration mirror so I can calibrate anywhere, anytime, without needing to use a personal mirror or look for a mirror in the world. For VRChat tracking settings, this is what I use. Here's my setting menu. That should cover all the important VRChat settings. Please comment or join the Rebocap Discord server if you have any trouble. How to use Rebocap in Blender. You can send data to Blender from Rebocap in real time using a simple Blender add-on. Simply download the Rebocap Blender plugin from the documentation, go into User Preferences, and install from disk. Now you should see Rebocap Connection plugin in your 3D View Properties tab. Select your armature, retarget the bones, and click Connect. Don't forget to calibrate inside Rebocap so the character can be moving. And enable VMC output, otherwise Rebocap won't be sending any data. How to export as FBX or other animation formats. Click here to start recording, start moving and jumping around, then click Stop Recording and export your file. Now you can import it into Blender or any other software you want. You can also select your desired export format from this drop-down right here. As an example, animation for this project took just about 3 minutes to create because it was all motion captured with Rebocap. Looks pretty good, right? I mocapped it myself. How to charge them. Pull out the trackers from the brackets and place them into the charging box with the gold connectors facing down. Then plug in the charging box. Your trackers should light up as red if they're not at 100% and reach green when they are at 100% charge. Pro tip for faster charging, the power distribution is even among all the trackers, so when the trackers go green, feel free to take them out from the charging case and then leave the red ones to continue charging. This will let the rest of the trackers charge a little bit faster. Additional info and troubleshooting. If your trackers are still acting weird and being unreliable, we can calibrate the hardware. Rebocap uses magnets and gyroscope data to provide accurate tracking. The better calibrated the trackers, the less errors over time means less drift. I recommend calibrating both once a week if you use them fairly often or have a lot of magnets in your play space. To calibrate, put the trackers in the box like this, leaving some space between them. I recommend using this extruded edge of the box as your point of reference while following the tutorial. At first, you might have to do it a few times to get it right, but once you learn to do this, you can get it right the first time. And then spin the box twice as shown in the example. If the calibration is successful, you should see the magnet reading numbers go down. In ideal situations, they should be between 40 to 60 or simply be in the green range. You should also calibrate the gyroscope. This one is easy. You can do it while your trackers are in the straps. Make sure all your trackers that you're using are turned on, then just lay them on the floor and click Calibrate Gyroscope. Don't move or shake the floor. Wait a few seconds and calibration will be done. I also recommend scanning your room for magnets using the PsyFox app. You can use the magnometer to check if something has strong interference or not. Absolute value between 10 and 70 is the best. Readings higher than 70 will cause the trackers to act weird. Avoid using IMU trackers in highly magnetic places since it will bug out their sensitive sensors. If you live in highly magnetic environment, I recommend using the 6-axis mode and disabling anti-magnetic features. This will make the trackers use more primitive systems to track their position. Since they won't be using any magnetic features for tracking, you can use them in highly magnetic environments. Bonus tips. If you enable advanced settings, you can disable the foot constraint. So when you rotate your foot around, it moves a lot more. You can also change the color of the LEDs on the trackers, so they don't blind your eyes when you do VR sleeping. If you're planning to lay down a lot with your trackers, I recommend disabling anti-foot sliding. This will help to reduce some drift over time if you're laying down a lot. That's all the advice I have for now. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you have any more questions, please comment them below or join the Rebocap Discord server for any assistance. All the resources and links will be in the video description. Thank you for watching. Until next time.